Hello and welcome. My name's Bridget. Thank you so much for joining me today for this 15-minute full body yoga stretch to feel your best today. We're going to get started in a nice comfortable seated position. So I'm just crossing the ankles in front of me, sitting down onto the sit bones, or if you feel like you need a little bit more space here, you can sit up onto a block or a cushion. Then we're just going to take a moment to connect with the breath. So you can leave the palms resting on the knees, or you might like to bring one hand to heart space and one hand to the belly. And just connect with the breath, filling the belly and the lungs with air. Exhale, letting the shoulders drop away from the ears. Checking in with the body, just noticing how you feel. Not judging anything, just becoming aware and allowing yourself to slow down in this moment. And then when you're ready, we'll bring our attention into the palms of the hands as we slowly make our way to our tabletop. So onto all fours, we're going to stack the shoulders above the wrists, the hips above the knees, and just take a moment here to find a little bit of gentle movement. I like to stretch through the side body by moving the hips and the shoulders to the side, maybe drawing some big circles with the spine. So just finding any gentle movement that feels right in your body today. And then move through a couple of rounds of our cat-cow. So on an inhale, we're going to curl the tailbone up, drop through the belly and lift the head. Exhale, we round the tailbone under, arch through the spine and let the top of the head drop down towards our mat. And we're really going to sync the movement up with the breath here, so you can slow it down as much as you'd like to, just warming up through the spine for our practice today. And then just also checking in with the hands and the wrists here, making sure we're spreading all 10 fingers, pressing down into our fingerprints so that we're not crashing into the wrists. And then we'll slowly make our way back to that tabletop, to our flat back position. And we're going to tuck the toes under here and start to walk the hands back, dropping the hips down onto the heels and sitting up nice and tall, finding some length through the spine. Just breathing into the feet here, and I like to do this just to wake the feet up a little bit before we start to move through our practice. And you can take a couple of rolls of the neck here, the shoulders, take a couple of wrist circles. Again, just checking in with how you feel, just noticing. And then when you're ready, we're going to make our way back to all fours so that we can find our first downward facing dog. Lifting the knees away from your mat and then pressing the hips towards the top back corner of the room. We start to draw the chest towards the tops of the thighs, nice and strong through the arms. And rather than trying to get really straight through the legs and locking the knees, we're really going to bend into the knees so that we can flatten through the spine. Find a little bit of movement here, pedal it out through the feet, dropping one heel and then the other. And then we'll find a moment of stillness, breathing into the backs of the legs, really hugging the lower ribs down towards the hips. So nice and active through the core here as well as we draw the belly button back towards the spine. And then gently we're going to start to walk the hands back towards the back of our mat and find a forward fold here. Walking the feet as wide as your yoga mat, so taking a little bit of a wider stance here. And then again finding a little bit of gentle movement, so maybe swaying a little bit from side to side, relaxing through the head and the neck. And again, bring a little bit of a bend into those knees to really release through the lower back. And maybe deepening the breath here, so bringing the attention back to the breath. And then we're going to slowly make our way back to our downward facing dog. So walking the feet back underneath the hips, and then we'll walk the hands forward, press the hips back and press the chest towards the tops of the thighs. Then we're going to ground down through our left heel, find our three-legged dog. So lift the right foot up towards the sky, and exhale, we draw that right knee in towards the chest and step the right foot forward between the hands. We find our lunge. When you get there, we're going to power up through the legs and start to draw the fingertips away from our mat, finding our high lunge, reaching the hands up towards the sky and really squeezing the shoulder blades back together and down away from the ears. And we're staying really strong through the core here as we find our warrior two. So on an exhale, sending the arms out to either side and pivoting on that left foot, keeping that nice deep bend into the right knee and pressing it to the right edge of our mat. So really opening up through the hips. On our next inhale, we'll find our peaceful warrior. So flipping the right palm and then reaching towards the back edge of our mat. With our exhale, we're going to slowly cartwheel the hands down to frame that right foot. Plant the left palm and reach the right fingertips up towards the sky for our twist. Exhale, we bring the right palm back down and we step the right foot back to meet our left in our plank pose. Taking a nice deep breath here. And then on an exhale, we lower all the way down to the belly, untuck the toes, and then press into the palms to lift the chest. Find your cobra. Exhale, we lower the chest back down and press back to our plank and send the hips back to our downward facing dog. Find a little bit of movement when you get there, so pedaling out the feet, breathing into the backs of the legs, deepening the breath, and then we'll take our flow to the other side. So ground down through the right foot. Inhale, we find our three-legged dog, and exhale, we squeeze that left knee in towards the chest and step it forward between the hands. Take a moment here, and then we'll start to lift the fingertips away from our mat, making our way up into our high lunge, so powering up through the legs. And again, check in with the shoulders here, squeezing them back together and down away from the ears. Really nice and active through the core here, almost tucking the tailbone down and under so we're not crashing into the lower back. And then on an exhale, we'll find our warrior two, so sending the arms out to either side. Keeping that nice deep bend into the left knee, and pressing the knee open. On our next inhale, we'll find our peaceful warrior, so flipping the left palm and then reaching forward, up and back, breathing into the left side body. And then with an exhale, we'll slowly cartwheel the arms down to frame that left foot. And then find our twist, so planting the right palm this time. We inhale the left fingertips up towards the sky, maybe looking up. And then exhale, plant the palm, and we step the left foot back to meet the right. Taking a nice deep breath in our plank pose, flattening out through the spine. And then exhale, we're going to slowly lower to the belly. Untuck the toes and then press into the palms. We find our cobra, opening up through heart space. Exhale, we lower, and then we're going to press it back to our child's pose. So sinking the hips back down to the heels, reaching the arms out long in front, and letting the forehead rest on our mat. Bringing the attention back to the breath. And again, just taking this as a moment to check in with how you feel. And we're not judging anything, really just noticing, maybe noticing how you feel after that little flow compared to the beginning of our practice. And then we'll gently make our way back to all fours and find our downward facing dog again. So pressing to lift the hips, draw the chest towards the tops of the thighs. And then when you're ready, we'll ground down through the left heel, lift the right leg to three-legged dog, and exhale, we draw the knee in towards the chest and step that right foot forward between the hands and lower that left knee for our low lunge. We're going to open up through the hips and the legs a little bit more here. So just take a moment to wiggle it out in your low lunge. You might untuck those left toes. I just like to move the hips a little bit from side to side. And then on an exhale, we're going to find our half splits. So start to walk the hands back and straighten out through that right leg. You can keep a nice little bend into the knee. Draw the hips back and just breathing into the back of that right leg. We're nice and active through the toes, so drawing the toes back towards the chest and draw the chest towards the toes. Breathing deeply here. And then we walk the hands back to our low lunge, sink the hips forward. Then we're going to bring both hands to the inside of that right foot and find a little bit of a quad stretch here. So coming up onto the right fingertips, we're going to reach back with the left hand and see if we can catch a hold of that left foot and then draw it in towards us. You might need to lift the hips a little bit here to take a hold of the foot and then sink them forward again. And then we'll gently release and bring both hands back to frame that right foot. We're going to plant the left palm and find our low lunge with a twist. So reach the right fingertips up towards the sky and exhale the hand back down. We step the right foot back to meet the left. Find your plank pose. Take a nice deep breath here. And then exhale, we slowly lower down to the belly. Untuck the toes and find our cobra, lifting through the chest, and then exhale back down. We tuck the toes under, come up through plank, and then find our downward facing dog. Pedal it out through the feet here. Find a little bit of movement, and then we take it to the other side. So ground down through the right heel, lift that left leg up to three-legged dog, and then exhale, we step the left foot forward between the hands, find our low lunge. You can untuck the right toes, and then maybe sway the hips a little bit from side to side. Just find some gentle movement. Whatever you feel like you need to stretch it out a little bit here. And then gently we'll find our half split. So tuck the right toes under if you haven't got them there already. We'll start to walk the hands back, level out the hips, and then breathe into the back of that left leg. Again, nice and active through the toes, so drawing them back towards you, and then seeing if you can draw the chest towards the toes. So rather than really rounding forward through the spine here, we're going to be nice and active. And gently bend back into that left knee. We bring both hands to the inside of the left foot, and then coming up onto the left fingertips, we're going to reach back with the right hand, seeing if you can take a hold of the right foot and then draw it in towards you. Find a little bit of movement, so maybe pulsing into that right knee, so drawing the foot in, letting it go a little bit, and then drawing it back in. You might lift the hips and lower, staying connected with the breath. And then we bring the hands back, plant the right palm, and inhale, reach the left hand up towards the sky. Exhale back down, and we step the left foot back to meet the right. Take a deep breath in your plank pose, and then we exhale to slowly lower to the belly. Press into the palms. We find our cobra. Draw the shoulders back and away from the ears. Exhale, we lower. And we find our child's pose, so drawing the hips back towards the heels, bringing the belly to the tops of the thighs. Then I'm going to bring this into the arms and the shoulders a little bit more. So walking the elbows together, bringing the palms together, and then bringing the hands to the back of the head here, almost like a little shark fin. Close down the eyes, bringing the attention to the breath. Check in with how you feel here. Really slowing down as we start to close our practice. And then we'll take a really nice deep inhale, the deepest breath you've taken all day. And exhale, let it go. And we'll slowly make our way back to all fours, cross one heel over the other, and then we'll make our way back through seated. And then come all the way back to lie down, keeping the knees bent when you get there. Take a moment to get comfortable, and then we'll drop the knees down to one side, bring them back through center, drop them over to the other side, just moving through a couple of rounds of our windscreen wipers. Moving back and forth. You can start to close down the eyes here if you haven't already. And then bringing the knees back to center, we'll start to make our way to our final resting posture, our Shavasana. So sending the legs out nice and long, letting the feet fall to either side, bringing the hands to either side, palms facing up. Giving yourself permission to take up space here. Letting the breath return to normal. And letting yourself sink down towards your mat a little bit more with each exhale. Give yourself permission to stay here as long as you would like, or as long as you feel you need in your Shavasana today. And we're going to close our practice here. Thank you so much for joining me for your practice today. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day ahead of you. The light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.